There's drama, and then there's Huntsville drama, where love turns into leverage and every family moment feels like a headline waiting to explode. When Martell Holt hit post on that Halloween video, he didn't just share a cute clip of Sugar Mama hugging her little brother Knox. He reignited the fire he's been pretending to put out. What looked like sibling love was really the calm before another public storm, because when it comes to Martell and Melody Sherry, nothing is ever simple. The internet didn't see hugs, it saw strategy. It saw a man trying to prove a point after losing control. The timing, the caption, the smiles, all too perfect, all too convenient. And the same man who once fought to keep his kids off camera suddenly couldn't wait to show them off when it served his image. That's the thing about power. Once you lose it, you'll do anything to feel seen again. And in Huntsville, attention is the real currency. One video, one hug, and the whole city was talking. This wasn't about Halloween. It was about control, revenge, and a father who can't stop fighting a war that's already over. The air in Huntsville always seems heavy when Martell Holt and Melody Sherry are involved, because no matter how much time passes, their story never truly ends. It just shifts into new chapters of tension and control. This time it all started with one simple video posted on Halloween weekend a day meant for laughter, candy, and costumes, not controversy. Martell uploaded a clip of his daughter Sugar Mama running to hug her. Little brother Knox, the son he shares with Arian Curry. On the surface, it looked pure, a sweet moment between siblings who, despite the chaos around them, still manage to find each other, but anyone who knows the history could see through the innocence. This was not just a proud father sharing a memory, this was a calculated move, the kind that makes people lean in and start asking questions. Why this day? Why this video? Why now? The timing was too pointed, the context too familiar. It was a school day, not one of his visitation days, according to reports, which made it feel less like spontaneity and more like strategy. Martell knew exactly what he was doing, because this man has mastered the art of turning personal moments into public statements. The video spread fast, fans reacting with a mix of warmth, confusion, and suspicion. Some saw love, others saw manipulation. After all, this is the same Martell who once argued in court that Melody should not post their children online, who accused her of using them for attention, yet here he was doing exactly that. The contradiction was glaring, and the internet wasted no time calling it out. People felt it was less about celebrating family and more about asserting relevance, about showing Melody that he still had access, still had power, still had a place in her world, even if only through the children. What made it sting more was that Melody had finally reached a point of peace. She had moved on, was thriving, building her brand, performing, traveling, smiling again without the weight of his chaos dragging behind her. Martell's gesture looked like a disruption of that peace, a reminder that no matter how far she gets, he can still find a way to insert himself into her narrative. For the kids, it was just a moment of affection. Sugar Mama ran with pure joy while Knox hesitated, uncertain, maybe unfamiliar with the bond that should come naturally to siblings. That pause spoke volumes. It hinted at distance, at two worlds that rarely meet unless cameras are rolling. The tragedy in all this is that the children did not choose this public stage. They are just being swept along in a battle of ego and image. Martell's post was supposed to be heartwarming, but instead it became a mirror reflecting everything wrong with this fractured family dynamic. It was not about the hug, it was about the need to be seen to prove that he still mattered in a story that has already moved on without him. When that video hit social media, the reaction was instant and divided. Half the internet wanted to believe it was a simple act of fatherly love, while the other half saw it as another chapter in Martell's endless campaign for attention. It was not just about the video itself, it was about the hypocrisy, the timing, and the history attached to it. For years, Martell had insisted that Melody should not use their kids for social media or television exposure. He fought to control when and how they appeared, claiming it was about protecting their privacy. Yet when it suited his image suddenly, the rulebook vanished and the same children became the centerpiece of his narrative. It did not take long for people to connect the dots and remember the recent court order that explicitly limited the use of the kids on any platform for profit without court permission. The order was clear: the children were not to be filmed or posted as part of any paid content, and both parents were to respect that boundary. Melody had adhered to it strictly. She kept her focus on her work, her music, and her peace. Martell, however, seemed to treat it like a suggestion rather than a ruling. His post blurred the line between innocent sharing and potential violation, and fans immediately speculated whether the court might see it as overstepping. The fact that he had missed a major custody hearing earlier only added to the perception that he was reckless with the legal process, and that his ego often overshadowed his judgment. Behind every caption and smile, there was tension, years of emotional warfare wrapped in a single image. Viewers dissected every frame of that video, from Sugar Mama's unfiltered joy to Knox's hesitation. They saw the distance between the two sides of this family and the awkwardness that comes when parents refuse to heal, but still share children. Some even questioned if Martell's goal was to trigger Melody, knowing that any reaction from her could be used against her in public opinion. The video's caption, "Nothing like sibling love," sounded innocent, but to many it read as deliberate, an attempt to reclaim the wholesome image he lost during years of cheating scandals, public breakups, and televised meltdowns. In a city like Huntsville, where everyone remembers everything, the post did not symbolize peace, it symbolized provocation. Martell might have thought he was showing fatherhood, but what he really showed was the pattern he cannot seem to break, one where image matters more than integrity and attention outweighs accountability. Melody, by contrast, has learned the power of silence. She no longer reacts. She moves strategically, which is why every time Martell tries to pull focus, it only highlights his lack of growth. This Halloween moment that could have been healing turned into another reminder that co-parenting requires maturity and restraint, qualities that seem to escape him when the spotlight is on. The longer the debate continued, the clearer it became that this was never about a holiday photo or a harmless hug. It was about perception and control. In the world of reality television, every move carries weight, and Martell Holt's need to prove himself has become his undoing. The court had already drawn its boundaries, and the judge's message was simple: protect the children, keep them out of the public tug-of-war, and allow them to have a childhood untouched by drama. Yet every time Martell goes online to remind people he is still relevant, he drags those boundaries right back into question. The truth is that people are not rooting against him. They are rooting for him to grow up, to stop performing and start parenting. They want to see real maturity, not rehearsed gestures for the camera. Because at the end of the day, it is not Melody who looks like the villain here. She looks like the parent who learned from the pain while he looks trapped in it. What could have been a quiet moment of connection became evidence of imbalance and unfinished healing. The audience does not hate him. They are just tired of watching the same mistakes repeated in new packaging. The internet will always talk, the fans will always dissect, but the only voices that truly matter belong to Sugar Mama and Knox, who deserve to live without being props in their parents' rivalry. Real strength would have been posting nothing at all, simply showing up for them without an audience and without validation. Until Martell learns that silence can be stronger than performance, he will keep losing the very peace he claims to seek. This story may fade, but the lesson remains: image fades, integrity does not. So as the dust settles, Huntsville finds itself watching another chapter unfold in the never-ending saga of Martell Holt and Melody Sherry, a reminder that fame, ego, and heartbreak rarely stay behind closed doors. What started as a simple Halloween moment spiraled into a full-blown debate about accountability, double standards, and emotional maturity. Every time Martell tries to prove that he's in control, he only reminds everyone how much control he's lost. Melody, on the other hand, continues to choose peace over pettiness, and that quiet power speaks louder than any video ever could. The truth is, no one wins when children become part of the performance. Real growth doesn't happen on Instagram. It happens in silence, in therapy, in consistent love that doesn't need validation. The world isn't asking Martell to be perfect, just honest, with himself and with his children. Because in the end, legacy isn't built on views or likes. It's built on behavior. And for all the noise surrounding this moment, the real story will always be the same. Two parents learning, failing, and hopefully finding a way to protect what matters most. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to The Hype Spill for more real stories behind the headlines.